Hi everybody, Rick from agiprodj.com. We're getting more and more questions about microphone systems. We are an authorized Shure dealer, and Shure is one of our favorites. This is one of the high-end microphone systems for wireless technology. If you kind of look at your hierarchy of quality levels, Shure makes a PGX system, they make an SLX, they make a ULX. They also have a UHF-R series, and that's the latest technology that Shure has available. And that's what you're looking at. This is considered a UR4D, which means that there are two UHF-R receivers in each one of these 19-inch rack mounts. So you've got two systems we're actually looking at side by side here. A lot of people would ask, why would you spend this kind of money on a system like this? Well, if you're a mobile DJ, or if you're a live sound guy, or anybody that's out there using mics, there's always a question, why would you spend more? One of the cool things that this does, and we all know as anybody who's paid attention in the last year, the 700 megahertz band is off limits. A lot of people take that seriously, a lot of people don't. But the reality is this system can help you lock in frequencies that are clear and free in a couple of ways. These particular units are what belong to the J5 band. So that's 578 megahertz through 638 megahertz. So in and of itself, we're out of the 700 range to begin with. But watch what this does. If I hit this little button that says radio, and I'm actually going to spin around so you can see it a little bit better, and I hit the scan button, and then I hit group scan, watch what this does. And this is going to take a few minutes to do its stuff, but it is searching everywhere in an enormous radius right now, and it's searching up to 2,400 UHF frequencies. And when it's done at the end of this process, it'll come back and say, okay, here are some frequency groups and channels that we've identified that we feel are optimal for broadcasting. And that's huge. Some of the other systems that don't cost as much, they don't search frequencies at all. You literally plug it in, you turn your microphone on, and you hope for the best. And that's where the unexpected interference, the electronic devices that are in your environment kick in, and all of a sudden, what used to be a clear sound check is not clear. And if you're doing something important, which all of us are, you don't need that happening. So this is finishing up its scan right now. And so as I mentioned, it's scanning literally 2,400 frequencies. Scan is done. It's going to say, look, we've identified group number 7. It's got 34 open frequencies, and it's found 2 receivers. If I hit enter, what this is going to do, it's going to lock in those frequencies. How cool is that? You get a light show at the same time. Once those are locked in, I can take any of my wireless receivers, and this is a UR4D. What I've got here is a system that has a Beta 87A, and it's also got a UR1 belt pack transmitter. So either one of these right now that are going to be assigned to this channel, all I do is I open up the microphone, this little button here that says sync, I'm going to press that, and anywhere within about 6 inches of this little sync button right here, you may have a hard time seeing it, but watch what happens when I hit sync. I'll hit it one more time. It's searching for a transmitter. It should find one here in just about a second. Maybe 5. There it goes. It says IR sync successful. What that means is now you've locked in this case, frequency 588.025 megahertz, TV channel 33, guaranteed, completely perfect quality transmission. A lot of people will ask, why would you spend this kind of money? This system here that has Beta 87s and the belt packs, I think it retails for $6,000 or $7,000. Why would you spend that much? The other thing that Shure does is they build in a sort of an advanced compounding mechanism. So when somebody speaks into this microphone, this is a transmitter, when it's received at the receiver end, it goes through a process called compounding. And that process in this UR4D system is done in a way that makes this microphone sound as close to a wired microphone with a cord going into a mixer as possible. It makes it practically noise-free. when a best man gives a toast into this microphone, or when somebody sings into this mic, it sounds almost like you're in a studio, even if you're in a barn. And it's guaranteed to work. I mean, it's phenomenal. Wireless Workbench software comes with this product as well. So that is a way that you can communicate with software on a laptop. If you had a laptop sitting here, you'd have software that would communicate and let you choose through a lot of different features that are on the front. Looking at some of the other buttons, it's probably worth pointing out. If you hit the radio button, we already saw that you can scan frequencies. You can adjust the squelch. You can adjust some custom settings. Audio button is next. You can adjust the output level. There's a utility button that helps you make some contrast changes to the screen. You can custom name any of the different receivers, receiver 1 or backstage 2, whatever you wanted to call it. You can name it whatever you want. And then all the different sync functions as well. It's a pretty impressive system, and it's a big investment. We talk all the time about investing in gear that is better, and this hands down has been one of the coolest things I've ever purchased, and so it's definitely available from us. Let's take a look at the back side, and we'll show you kind of what goes on in the back. So this is going to be the back of the Shure UR4D system. There's a lot going on here, and I don't claim to be, you know, the end-all in expertise on this, but I know enough to be sort of dangerous with it. You've got a power in and also a daisy chain power out, which is nice. One extra cord that you don't have to have in the system when you can daisy chain one into the other. You've got the coax cable that allows you to front mount the antennas. We saw the antennas earlier in the front. Those actually just come around to the back here, and that's where the signal gets received and ultimately into this receiver itself. You've got a 1/4 inch and XLR outputs. And there's also a lift and a ground switch here. If you have some hum, this has been a thorn in many people's sides, is how do you get hum out of a mic system? Well, they built in the little ground lift, and sometimes that helps eliminate hum problems, sometimes it doesn't, but it's there, and it's a way to safely do it. That's a nice feature, Shure. Got it right there. USB in for software updates. You can actually plug either one of these units into what Shure calls a wireless workbench software, and that is what gives you a whole assortment of ways to configure multiple systems. You can chain, I believe, 108 of these systems together if you wanted to. Again, here you only see 2, but you can get as involved in the wireless workbench software as you want to. It's a phenomenal product. One step over, you'll see a little Cat5 connector. If I chain these 2 together, what I can do is let them communicate with each other, and I actually can assign frequencies to all 4 units at the same time. These 2 don't happen to be configured to be working together right now, so I just do 2 at a time. But if you wanted, you could have dozens of these systems put together, all with the Cat5 chain, working with the wireless workbench software to work together. And so that's basically the back of it. This is a very high quality system from Shure. We definitely recommend it to people who are looking for something that's definitely unprecedented in their marketing area. It works, hands down. This product works each and every time that I've ever used it. So thanks for checking it out. We're agiprodj.com.